Sweet again tonight.
Yep.
I think everybody
That's
gets
what you
busy
say.
on these
That's
summer
what you
weeks,
say right up until everyone arrives.
right?
But
Stu
where's
and I are
everyone?
just
That's
on
what I want
time.
to know.
You find it
They'll
dying
be
down a
here.
lot this summer. Sweet again tonight.
Yep.
I think everybody
That's
gets
what you
busy
say.
on these summer weeks. There we go. Good. Good over there.
Oh, yeah, I would love to find every time. It doesn't. Yeah. All right.
We're
Gotta go
both about
back.
ready to shut computers out the window
Oh,
tonight. So I've been having issues on the website and trying to figure out things over there, and he's over here trying to get stuff. So we're getting there. So good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome. If you're over on YouTube or over here, welcome. We're happy to have you. We are pushing through this week, and we're trying to keep the questions coming over in the group about what level, with the new membership groups that we have coming in, what level do you want to jump in at? And if your chemistry is established and you've been through the basics and you've got that mastered, then we can push into intermediate or the advanced classes. So it's one of those, that is what we're trying to get everybody to understand, is you have to master each step before you push forward. And that is why Keto Continuum lays here on my desk all day, every day. And it's one of those, you got to tweak it sometimes. You got to back up a little bit and get it going right, get it going in the right direction. Then you can start again. But that's kind of what we've even had to do. And we know how to do it, but applying it is different if your body's not ready or your body's not kicking in like it should. So those kind of things are what we're going to work through tonight. And we're going to work through those struggles and get everybody pushing into that advanced level if you want to. We love it there. This is where we feel the best. That's where the magic happens for us, especially myself. I know Lance sometimes has a little bit more grace than I do, but my body feels the best when I stay in those 72s and stay on the course. So it's just good. That's where we're at. We are about what, 26 hours,
27 hours in.
27 hours in.
45 to go.
So we're pushing
Who's
through,
counting though? Who's
right?
counting?
I always count.
He's my numbers man, so he does. He does.
You know, I heard Sue talking earlier before we jumped on that she was having a tougher time this time through. You'll find that during different cycles, as you go through your series of 72-hour fast, you'll find 1 week is more difficult. You'll hit almost like a peak, week 3, week 4, week 5, right in there that you really have to focus and push through. And you may get through one time of the 8 in a row and not have an issue. That next time you try it, I bet you'll hit that peak of that mountain there. Or you may hit it in a different place. Yeah. Your next, third or fourth time through, you'll hit it at a different place where your body responds. And it's normal, but it hits everybody at a different place. But it is a struggle to get through, where you have to really buckle down and have focus.
And I think some of it too, a lot of it depends on how well are you prepped and ready to go into that fast. And I can tell you, if we eat off, and when I say off the rails, I mean like yesterday we were out for a ride with the Jeep and we stopped, there was a hot dog stand. So we got the hot dog, we can eat the meat and everything like that, but that hot dog is just a little different than what we're used to. We're not used to very much processed meats. So we did the best we could do, no big deal, but just having that yesterday, and then we had pork chops later when we came home. But having that whole meat feels so much better than having a processed meat or anything like that. And it seems like between that whole meat and the fats that prep us for this fast, it'll be different, each time.
The difference in quality is crazy.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing, as you get through the steps and you master those steps, your quality of food will get better and better as you clean more and more up, as, you throw away that old mayonnaise that you got at the store. How many of us, we keep buying Miracle Whip because everybody was so happy with Miracle Whip, or even the Hellman's Real mayonnaise and stuff like that. And you turn that stuff around, there's nothing real about any of it. It is all just crap. But as you get through those habits and stop buying that, and as they run out, I'm not one to waste a bunch of food, but hey, Olivia, glad you made it. As you running through the items in your fridge and your pantry and things like that, and you just stop buying them, you just either make a better choice, make your own homemade, whatever you need to do. But it's such better choices out there than what we are so used to throwing in our refrigerator and just mindlessly acting like it doesn't matter. And when you realize, we used to probably go through a quart of mayonnaise a month, you know, and now you look at it, it's like, that means we ate that. All those crappy oils went in us. And if you listen to the research on that, those crappy oils, when we eat the crappy mayonnaise and the yucky salad dressings and all the sauces and everything with all of those nasty oils in it, you know, those last like 600 and something days in our body. So what you're eating today for that cellular renewal is going to be over 600 days in your system with those nasty oils. So you've got to, that's where that cellular turnover just comes in place. So,
and that's all part of mastering each step. You go through the steps. You can run through the steps, but until you really master them and get into, I almost say, geeking out in all the steps of what you can do and how to do it. Yeah. It really, you know, that's where it kicks in.
It does. It's nice. It's nice when you can actually apply each of those steps and you just keep getting better and better and better. The better you get at them and the more they become second nature to you is when the fasting becomes, that's your fun challenge. Then it's pushing through the fast. If you need to, if you're not, you know, if you've reached all your goals and you don't need to do the fasting, then by all means, you don't need to fast.
Or change it up.
Yeah. So change it up or whatever, but don't think that you have to get there. But most of us that have metabolic damage that we are trying to heal at the cellular level, we need to get to that point and we need to push that chemistry. So it's not all about fasting all the time. It's not about everybody has to do it. No, you don't. But I will say I'm very, very metabolically broken and it is the only thing and the best thing that has ever made the change. Short of getting those carbs and everything down, the next step that really made me see a huge difference in how I felt, how I was able to reverse my neuropathy and get off the medications was when I started the fasting. So again, it's not everybody's favorite thing. I'm not trying to be the fasting cheerleader, but I just appreciate it because it is the best I feel, as much as it's not always fun, but it becomes a challenge and we can do hard things and I actually enjoy it. You know, it becomes nice and it's fun when we can banner off each other and push each other through and carry each other over. So come on in, check in. Come on in, Olivia. Come and start us off. Tell us about your week. Olivia's always got good stuff going on.
Well, talk about staying on the right track. So we went camping last week for 4 days, and I took all the staples that that I eat and the meats, and I took breakfast casseroles that were already made. All we need to do was heat them up, and so there was nothing in the camper or in the trailer in the RV that was gonna throw me off. And whenever we go camping there's never really been, I mean, there's been an office, you check in and whatnot, but there's never been like a little store or anything. And this time it was around Tyler Lake in Texas, and they had a little grocery store.
Oh no.
Also had like a tackle shop, and my husband was going to go fishing and whatnot. And he only had one fishing rod, so I wasn't going to go with him. I was going to kind of do my own thing and go for a hike and that kind of thing. Well, I went over to the little store and I saw microwave popcorn and I saw ice cream, and it was nice and warm and humid there. So I thought I went ahead and I fell off the wagon. I had 2 bags of that popcorn. I had 2 popsicles. I had one small little ice cream thing of strawberry ice cream. So I knew that my numbers were like way off. And of course, it's going to take 1 or 2 days to get over that. So instead of starting my fast on Sunday, I started on Friday when we got back. I didn't even check my numbers before I started because I knew that, there was no way I was going to be in ketosis at all. And I've been using Keto Mojo strips and buying them since 2019. So I've spent a lot of money at this point. And so many times I don't take my numbers when I wake up. I usually take them right before I eat because I was doing both and it just gets pretty costly.
Oh, yeah.
And, at this point where I'm at, I just don't think I need to do both all the time.
And one thing too, you knew you were going to have bad numbers, so why waste a strip?
Yes. And I just, anyway, so I didn't do that. So I did a 72-hour instead of a 48 because I knew I needed to clean things out. And so I finished my 72-hour fast this morning. And so my numbers weren't in the one digits like I normally am on my DBR. It was, let me tell you here. My numbers were, my glucose ended up being at, I fasted longer because I had to go to the doctor this morning. So I was at almost 75 hours. And my glucose was 61 and my ketones were 4 and my DBR was 14. So, so I mean, it's okay, but it's not what I'm used to.
Olivia,
Yeah, exactly, Linda. Exactly.
Right. There's just so much. Again, there is so many ways we could say congratulations and kudos to you. And we are all jealous and proud of you for both actions. But that is the beauty of it. So if you're watching and listening, Olivia is a veteran. She has been in this for almost 5 years. She knows her chemistry. She knows how to do this. And that is the beauty of learning that chemistry is now she knows how to navigate ice cream sandwiches and popcorn. Now she knows how, if she went and did that, it's not to say she can never do that. She went and did it. She come home and now she knows exactly what to do to clean up, get her chemistry back on track and get going. And I love that about it it's not you can never do anything. It is just the difference of what it will take Olivia to get back on track. She said a couple days. If I would do that, that would take me a couple weeks. So that's the difference of how metabolically flexible she's able to be, how much her mitochondria, how healthier she is, all of those things. If you look at it, she's able to do that. And that's the win down the end of the pipe that we're working towards. So that's the goal, is to be able to go enjoy yourself, go camping, go see the ice cream and the popcorn and all the good things that we love. And she can go do it and come home and she knows exactly what to do to get back on track. It's not a forever. It's not a weeks off. It is come back and get on track.
And there's some things that I used to eat that if I happen to taste them now, they don't taste as good.
Right.
Now, everything I had there tasted really good.
You made good choices.
But I didn't like the way it made me feel afterwards.
Yep.
My hands and feet were swollen. Everything was puffy. I just knew that I just knew my sugar was way up, compared to what I'm used to having it. So, even though one is a veteran and maybe can do that once in a while, I wish I wouldn't, I really do, because I feel much better when I stay on track. And when you go into your fasting, whether it's 36, 48, or 72 or 5 days, if you're in ketosis, you do much better. You feel much better throughout the fasting, and it's just a much better way to do to be. So yeah.
It is. And but it's so true that it's amazing how fast you will feel yucky again. That, like I always tell by my rings, I can always tell when my rings are tight is when I'm puffy and inflamed, and when my rings are sliding around, then I know that inflammation is coming down. So my rings are still tight, as you can see. So, but it's those little tools and those little things that you will learn. Yes, one day matters. And Olivia can recoup in a couple of days. I don't get that luxury. I do not get that luxury. And most of us on here don't, until you're way down the end of that pike. And again, she's 5 years in, she's mastered her chemistry and she knows how to kill it. So good job, Olivia. We're proud of you for getting back on and
Thank you.
Leading by example.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you. Frida, I'm so glad you're here. You've been in our hearts and prayers. Come on in.
Thank you.
Tell us how you're doing.
I just drove in from Tucson, which is 3 hours away from me. So
Oh, wow.
I saw your text, so I thought I'd just jump on real quick.
Good.
I'm here.
How's your numbers holding up?
I have been eating everything that didn't eat me first,
There
and I feel like crap.
you go. Another
Yeah,
lesson.
so it's time to get back on. Tomorrow is it's our day to get back on the program.
Yep.
My hands aren't tight, but that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yes,
it's been tough, and then you get those phone calls of, well, we can't find a doctor to sign off so we can actually move forward with the cremation of your son. Oh, well, what doctor's not willing to sign off?
Right.
Those calls kind of throw you. So
Well, God love you, Frida. You've been in
Yeah.
my hearts and prayers. So
I guess everybody on here knows my son passed away a couple of weeks ago, unexpectedly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's just
So
no,
I'm doing okay though. He's in a better place, if you can think of it that way. He's not hurting anymore. He's
Yep.
yeah.
it's just not a sentence any parent should ever have to live through. So
No,
our hearts and
no.
prayers. Yeah.
Thank you. And like I said, I haven't, I've been bad.
Yep.
And I know I have, but it's amazing how fast you feel bad.
Right?
I feel horrible.
It's definitely a reminder of where you came from.
Yeah, yeah. Even my mom, I was talking to her on the way home and she said, you got to get back on that. You were feeling so good.
So
And
true.
now you're not. So
It is, and that's one of the big things I think of learning how to do it is you go backwards so fast, but there is that emotional part of it that same way I was with my brother. I wasn't eating crazy, but it was like I needed comfort. And if that was just coffee with my cream or some butter in my coffee or an extra meal or whatever, sometimes you just need that dopamine. And it was at that point
Johnny's crullers.
No, yeah.
yeah. And like you probably found, the food is not as good.
Nope.
It's food, but
Another thing
it doesn't satisfy.
It doesn't satisfy you. And I think, and tell me, all my veterans can probably taste this. I cannot stand anything that we eat. You could smell and taste the rancid oils now. Like just this McDonald's French fries used to smell good. And now I go through it's like, ooh, those are nasty, just so many different things that it's those nasty oils that things are cooked in. It's like, it's not the response that we used to get. It's just not.
It's not the same. I did have an ultrasound of my side done. They found some like growth things on my kidneys that they're saying is from too much protein or too much fat. I'm not sure. Still have fatty liver, but that's not what's causing my pain in my side. So, I don't know what to do with that information.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not saying anything.
We'll talk in class.
Tomorrow, I will be there. You going to be there?
Actually, I need to figure out if tomorrow, the new classes don't start till next week. So we should be.
I'm still working on the old classes. So.
Okay. All right. Well, the new one, those are actually all finished. So these are kind of running over that we're getting in, but we'll get there. We'll figure out for next week and figure out which one you want to be in and where we need to put you for sure. If that Tuesday time slot works for you, we'll figure everything out. But yes, for right now this week, everything should stay the same. So
okay,
I think we're good. Nothing pops
up.
All
right.
But hang in there, Frida. We'll get you back on track.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you other girls are in here too. Sue and Olivia and Linda.
Come on in, Sue. Come check in.
How was your camping trip?
I was going to say, how'd you fare camping?
I did wonderful. We get out and walk both days. It was rainy. We get out and walk both days, so I got at least a mile in each day. What was kind of funny, I'm going to tweak my 72 hours so that we camp usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to tweak it and starting on Saturday so I can eat when I get to camp.
There you go.
Yeah, but what's really was kind of funny is that we've got 3 couples that camp together, us and 2 others, and we usually pitch in a meal on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Okay, well, I already had told them Joe and I were opting out. We are eating too much differently. We're going to take care of our own. Well, they came to me and said, what can we do to get you guys to join back in the meals?
Awesome.
So I mean, they always make meat and stuff, which is fine. I told them, I said, I cannot eat after 3 o'clock. And they're used to eating at 5 or 6. I can't eat after 3. So next time we go, they're going to have their meal about 2 o'clock.
Good for you.
So I
that's
thought that was
by example.
nice. Yeah, they're willing to give in, and I'll still take meat and if Joe feels like he wants to eat something they have, I'm not going to tell him no. I mean, I did I don't make him take his blood all the time. he takes his blood pressure. So the other day, I watched a really in-depth podcast on fatty liver disease. I mean, really deep. So the next day I said, will you please take your blood glucose and all so I know where you're at? And he did. And a little shit was like, his glucose was like 70 and he had 1.4 ketones.
Right.
And he still drinks his beer 3 or 4 a day. Come on, this ain't fair.
Right.
So,
It
so
is-
I told him, I said, it'll depend on what our blood work says the end of the month, whether you give that beer up or not. And he seems to be agreeable. But now I'm doing okay. Like I said, I'm hungrier this time than I have been. I did put some butter in my coffee today. I don't know if that was legal or not, but I did because I was hungry.
Yep.
And I know on Sunday, my meal did not have near the fat in it should have had.
That's
So
why
I'm
you're feeling
wondering if,
hungry. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm still hungry. So we'll see. I'm going to make it till noon on Wednesday, come heck or high water.
Sue, I have no doubt
So-
you will make it. You are committed and you're accountable, and I love it. So
I just
But-
have to.
Just watch your minerals.
watch those minerals, staying hydrated.
Oh yeah, yeah.
things
I
like
got
that.
my keto electrolyte drops, and I've got my minerals from them, and
Yeah.
I putting it in my water. And I think we were at the gym for 2 hours today, so I'm working on the strength.
Nice.
So
Muscles.
you know that's going to make a difference too, I think.
Mhm.
So, do you think I will be okay in the advanced class, or do I need to back up one?
I think you will be fine in the advanced class. If we get it going for a week, or for some reason you feel like you need to back up, we'll put you back in that intermediate. That's no big deal. But I think the way you're killing it, unless you just want to idle for a little bit for camping season or something like that, but the way you're going, I'd keep going if I was you.
I'm going to get through at least through the 8 weeks, and then maybe I'll take a week or so. But I feel good, and it seems to be working. It seems like every time the days in between fasts, I'm not bouncing back up quite as high as I was before. So I may not be going down. I feel like my DBR should be a little lower when I finish. I think it was 9 this week. But, you know, if it's working, yeah, I believe that's what it was 9.
Linda's
It's
about
like-
ready to come unglued.
You're right there with Olivia. Me
I
and
told-
Linda are dragging off the ditch in the background somewhere.
Well, I told Linda, I said, we need to get together and just work this out. She was
here's-
struggling with her weekends.
Here's another thing too. Once you get further down the road as you go, your body is going to start using the ketones properly, and you won't make as many in abundance. So it will look like your numbers aren't as good as they are, but you're actually in a better place.
You're not
So-
overshooting.
Okay.
You're
Right
not-
now, your body's overshooting.
Yeah, when you first start, your body makes a bunch of ketones and it doesn't know what to do with it. So you get a high ketone number. Then, you use some of them. As you do that more often, your body says, oh, I don't have to make that many because you only use this much. So that number may come down. I'm not saying that it does every time, but I'm saying it may come down. So I know that I'm not a huge ketone maker, but I know that I use them. So
And he runs
Yeah.
his butt off all day long. So it's the differences of everybody's chemistry. That's where the magic, that's where learning to read your personal chemistry comes in. And I think the classes, that's where that is so good. When you master every step and understand the chemistry of every step, then you can understand and navigate going forward. So I had somebody asking about to go over the classes that are getting ready to start, the membership classes. These are going to start the first week of May, which I guess is with the one class will start this week, but most of them will be beginning next week. We're going to do 4 weeks every month, and I'm going to take you. There's a beginner level, an intermediate level, and an advanced. And at the beginner level, we're going to set that foundation. We're going to get it strong. We're going to get your tools set up. We're going to get your toolbox built. All of those things are going to get done in that first 4 weeks.
what does that cover? The beginner
Beginner covers Keto Continuum 1 through 4.
of Dr. Boss.
Of Dr. Boz's Keto Continuum. If you have the program and the curriculum, no need to buy it again. If you want the curriculum and you don't have it, I can get you the link and save you some money on that. I have a discount code for all my people. if you want the curriculum to follow along, but it is the curriculum we also teach. So if you're able to show up for all the lives, that's up to you then. If you don't, and you just need to be able to go watch them on your own, I'll have the link over there, and I give all my people a discount. So I will make a coupon code for each of you to be able to use. The intermediate group, though, this is where a lot of us ladies that are north of 40, we've got to get those hormones happy. And the intermediate is where I find a lot of us just need to ride it out, and we just need to stay slow and steady, and we need to stay there until our body catches up. Not that you quit pushing, not that you're not striving and pushing that chemistry and everything to move forward. But sometimes, I know I was one of them. This is why I made this group kind of like this, is you got to stay there till your body catches up. And if you push too fast through this part and the hormones aren't working yet, you will crash and burn and have to back up. And there's nothing more disappointing than giving up all the things that you know and love, and you've made all those sacrifices, and to realize it didn't work and you got to go do it again because you skipped a couple steps. This isn't a program that you can hopscotch through.
And what does the intermediate cover?
Intermediate covers Keto Continuum 5 through 8. Okay, so this is going to take you from like a 16 and 8 eating window. This is teaching you how to close that eating window a little bit tighter. It's going to move you into the advanced, and then we're going to get you into OMAD. So that intermediate group will work you into OMAD. Once you're at OMAD, then, and you've mastered that and you're comfortable there, some people stay right there, and some people can still get good DBRs and everything staying with OMAD. But mastering OMAD, doing it a couple times is one thing. Mastering OMAD for the chemistry is different. Because when you are clean for 23 hours or 22 hours or whatever you've got it down to, when you are clean for those 22 hours for the rest of the day, and you are only consuming calories for those couple hours a day, that is a total different chemistry shift than, oh, I did OMAD for a day, then I skipped, then I did OMAD for a day, then you skipped. You have to master that. And there is something magical then when you get there.
Then you take that OMAD and you twist it a little bit and you roll it backwards, and then you start playing with your eating window, where that eating window is. So you can even take OMAD and tweak it. So.
Yep. And that's what it comes down to for each of them. So just like he's saying, even if you want to stay in intermediate, and that is why we've broke this up in months. So you can stay in each section as long as you want, for as many months as you want to. And you may want to idle right there, but he's exactly right. If OMAD is normally at 5 o'clock and you don't want to go into fasting and you're not ready to push to that advanced level, it's okay, because we can still work on OMAD and make it better. We still, just like you said, tweak it. We will move that eating window from 5, 6 o'clock at dinner, just like Sue's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got people that are finishing up by noon, so that whole window just gets tighter and tighter. But then after it's tightened up and you're down to OMAD, like that's a pretty good shift. That OMAD can be moved closer to sunrise. So it's
question is, our classes starting Wednesday the 1st, or are we starting the next Wednesday?
Which class are you signed up in, hon?
The advanced Wednesday at 2 o'clock.
Then that will start this week.
Okay, that's what I was hoping.
Yep.
It's the Tuesday.
Okay.
It was the Tuesday one that didn't fall correctly. The beginner.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, the Monday, Tuesday classes didn't fall right on the beginning of the month, so we kind of pushed them to the next week.
So we pushed each one, so each class has 4 meetings at the month.
Yep.
So
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
That's what
I have 2 camping trips during that time, but I'm going to take my computer, and I've got Wi-Fi in the trailer, so I'm hoping I'll be able to connect from there.
And just know what I'm trying to do and trying to make happen is I'm trying to record all of them. So if you do miss a class, it will be posted over in the private Facebook group. I'm working on the private groups right now, and I hope to have everybody that's signed in. So the sooner everybody can get signed into the class that you want, gives me more time to get everybody pushed in the right groups.
Right.
So that will happen tomorrow. I'm going to start putting them in the groups, and then we will have everybody in the right group according to the level and hopefully the right time slot. So if there's any mistakes or anything, just text me and let me know. But if you miss it, I'm trying to get that replay recorded so I can put it over into that private Facebook group. So you will have the rest of that month, and I'm figuring out how long I can extend it for you to watch the next, or how long to be able to keep that up there and watch it. So we're trying to work out some of those kinks.
I've got Wi-Fi. We'll see if it works or it don't. I don't know.
That'll work. Good job, Sue.
Okay.
You good? Okay. Couple other things Sue mentioned. Sue mentioned the electrolyte drops. These are one of those drops from Keto Child. These have no flavor or anything in them. So I love them because I can drop them right in my water. They're not going to break my fast. So those little things that you can keep. The other thing, I got my salt rocks laying right here. So I can work on my suck on my salt rocks while I'm working. If I'm starting to get a craving, starting to feel hungry or anything like that, those salt rocks are right there in these electrolytes. So I got my desk set up for fasting for the next 2 days. I got my schedule jam-packed of work. So I am trying to get everybody going and keep them busy. And it does help me get through the fast. It makes a day fly by. By the time we're done here, it's time for bed. So it's going to get us through this first rough day. And then tomorrow's another, the busier you stay, the better it goes. So I love it.
One more thing. You
Yes.
had a third class.
Third class is the advanced. So everybody that has conquered OMAD and you have it down there and you are ready to push to that next level, that is where we're going to take you from the doing the 24-hour, pretty much like OMAD. Then we're going to take it to the 36, 48, and 72. And we're going to push you through. By the time that 4 weeks is over for that, I want your chemistry ready and prepped and ready to carry you through the next 8 weeks of 72s. That's where that deep liver cleaning comes out. That's where the magic happens. And that is where we just keep building upon that. Then just like Sue said, when you get done with those 8 weeks, then Lance and I, the first time we did it, we took, I think, 1 week off and we started right back in it. We
Rewash.
rinse and repeat because it was still working. It was still making us feel great. We were still, I mean, Lance, I think, tore apart our whole house from one end to the other and remodeled it that year because you couldn't wear him out. His energy was just amazing. And I love how my brain works better. Everything just kicks back in. So we are pushing through as best we can. We're probably going to take it easy a little bit the week of KetoCon, and then we're going to get right back at it for the summer. It is so nice to be able to go out on the lake, go boating, go camping, go whatever. And food is not running your life.
Nope.
So that's the cool part of it. So it's, you really be able to put the focus on what matters. You focus on the people, you focus on the relationship, you focus on the time being spent together. It is not always about the food. And that's what helps break that addiction in the brain that we talk about and work on. All those things happen when we
And that just happened with Sue too. That example just happened with Sue, with her friends saying, hey, how can we accommodate you because we miss you at our table?
Yep.
That's basically what it was. So it's not about the food now.
They
Now
miss
it
you.
is. It's about your people connection.
And
so that's kudos. That's awesome.
yeah. And she's leading by example. I think that is the other thing, that you're not pushing everybody in your world to do it, but they see what's happening to you and they miss you and love you at their table. But hey, how can we help accommodate?
Yep.
That's a win. So that's awesome, Sue. I'm proud of you. Good job. So, all right, Linda, come and check in. And if you have any more questions over on YouTube, go ahead and text them in. Tell me where you're from over there. We want to see who's coming, who all's coming to Texas, who's going to meet us down there.
One in Texas, not far from Tyler Lake. So,
Ooh,
I think it's Jennifer.
we got Olivia's in Texas too.
Yep. Anyway, go ahead, Linda.
Linda, come on.
I just first of all want to say to Sue, I'm not sure if you go camping and you've got Wi-Fi, that's really camping. I'm just saying, sounds like glamping to me. I have a friend.
That almost got me. That was awesome.
That's my kind of camping, Sue.
No.
I love it.
So you're telling me there's no tent? Is that what you're saying? There's this big fancy, like it's a trail.
I have a Wi-Fi hot. Yeah, we have a 24-foot camper with a shower in the bathroom,
Oh
It's
my
really
God. Probably
and
bigger than
heat
my
and air
house.
conditioning, and but I have to have my Wi-Fi for, well,
tent.
there's some issues you cannot get TV. And so, we got to have the TV on at night. So that's why I have the Wi-Fi.
All right.
Hey, if it don't flush and don't have
glad-
Wi-Fi.
Well, I was going to say, I'm so glad to hear you're toughing it out there in the wilderness, Sue. You go get them.
Hey, yeah,
So,
I am.
So I had a whiny week last week. I made a really slow start to my fast. I ended up, I think it was at 54 hours, and it was by way of a fast/sardine challenge, because that was all I could manage last week, and there was seriously some whining going on. And it's really amazing how when you go late, like late one week, and then you want to start again on time the following week, and you're like, wait a minute, didn't I just do this?
Finished.
Right.
I just did this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started dinner time tonight. I had my sardines when I got home from work. So that's me starting as of tonight, and I will now go, hang on a minute, this is Monday night, so Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, so into Friday. So then, but I will tell you, I have no problem doing OMAD during the working week. And literally, Sue was just saying this, no problem, because I'm busy all day. And Tammy, you were just saying, load up the day with things to get to the weekend. And, you know, bacon is calling my name in the morning. So there's breakfast, you know. So now I'm already not eating OMAD. I'm already doing 2 meals on Saturday and Sunday. And that's got to be a reset for me. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to it. But it's so easy during the week to do OMAD. And then on the weekend, it's been just such a struggle. So anyway, so this week I'm set up for it. And the funny thing is, okay, so the first time I did this 72-hour fast, it was like this massive big thing, like leaving home to go away to college, right? It's like the end of an era, the beginning of a whole new way of life. I think I'm in my 3rd or the 4th week now that I've actually done it. And I'm like, my husband said to me this morning, so fasting, right? And I was like, yeah. And so it's part of his normal thing. He doesn't wait dinner for me because he knows I'm going to be fasting. And it's actually kinder to get the kitchen cleared and have me not come home and walk in on that. So that was that. So I'm back, you know, I'm doing it again. I did want to say, I got a lovely bruise here from my blood work this week. Just beautiful. You all like to see that.
Oh,
yeah. And yeah, I go in tomorrow for a cardiac MRI with contrast. So that's tomorrow morning, first thing, 7 o'clock in the morning, check in. So if any of you are praying, you can pray for me tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Do that.
And it's not funny, but it is funny because that doctor I was telling you about, who was so like keen to do a cardiac catheterization, I got the results back from a CAT scan that they did last week, and it says there's no evidence of any blockage. So go figure. So now we're on to what the heck else could it be that left side of my heart isn't beating with vigor. So
left bundle branch block.
yeah, but it's yes, you're absolutely right. That's what it is. But when they're looking at it, they're like, it's not supposed to be beating so poorly. So right. So anyway, we'll have a look see and see what comes up. But I did want to say my big victory for this week was to go back and listen to Keto Continuum again. I forgot how many times I've listened to it, but I have it on audiobook and I listened. And this time I actually heard new stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because I'm further down the road.
Yep.
And so in the past, you know, you kind of hear it. I've taken a bit of a break and I went back and listened to it again and thought to myself, oh, right. So you can't just keep on eating.
The steps change. Yep.
24 hours.
Linda, I'm glad you brought that up because that is a huge thing for people to keep in mind. Is I used to have this battle with my own brother, the one that just passed. And he would pick a step and he would hold on to it and he would be like, well, you said too. And I'm like, yeah, but that's only for a while. That only works for a little bit. And then that, as your chemistry shifts, that steps shifts. But I want to say you are not alone. With all of the veterans that are on here, I bet you Olivia will probably say the same thing. There are some of those videos I bet you I've watched 30 times and I just listen to them over and over. And what I find is even with people at different levels of the group, when that level makes sense is where your chemistry's at, that step will now make sense to you because the first time you listened to it, you were down the road, not even paying attention to what she was saying because it didn't pertain to you yet. That is why having that course and doing these groups over and over and over, you know, I remember hearing her talk about fasting that first time through and I'm like, you know, I mean, it's just, that's not where you were at. So you don't focus on that. But now when you get there and your chemistry is getting there and you're feeling good and now you understand what people are talking about, because at the beginning when you heard it, you thought they were crazy. I did too. I mean, we all did. We all have been there. So if you're watching out there saying, oh my God, these people are crazy because they fast, we all said that. But I am telling you, put your hands up if everybody who feels best when you fast.
I don't know that I feel
Not yet, Linda.
Not yet. You'll get there.
best, but I tell you what's a huge thing is when you check your numbers. And I mean, and Tammy, I know I just heard you say, that you and I struggle with numbers, but I do believe it was just about 2 weeks ago, might have been 3, when you had the high thing on your ketones, on your Keto Mojo monitor. So you've been there as well with the amazing numbers.
But
And,
again, look what it took me to get there. It took me to push back into a clean fast. I've been doing sardines for weeks. We can do those. That I needed to
That's
push
almost that's almost not a
that's not even a
thing
pusher
anymore
for us. That's like, shoot, especially now with boating season coming, we'll come in, scarf down the sardines and be out the door because it's like, we're out. Like we go get on the boat, it's so nice. So that's easy for us. As much as I don't like them, it works. But it took me still getting into that clean chemistry of a clean fast to get those numbers. And again, I hadn't done it for a while. So of course my body was overshooting those ketones and that won't last, but it's still a nice win when you want it. So anybody that is hearing this, that if you haven't done the first steps of Keto Continuum, you have to get that chemistry right. We don't just wake up and say, oh my gosh, I'm not going to eat. We're not starving. We are fat adapted, which means our body is living off the fat and the fuel. It is not, we're not having those up and down swings that we used to have with hypoglycemia. I mean, my mama just got the ambulance called on her the other day because her glucose was down to 41 and she was unconscious. I mean, she was out of it. And trying to get them to understand how we hit those 40s on our fast that couple weeks ago. And it's like, I felt great. And my parents can't comprehend that I now feel good because I used to be just like my mom, where I would drop that hypo and I'd go down and I'd feel awful. Then you're sweaty, then you're sick, then you're nauseous, then you're tired for days. I mean, it was awful. So just know our chemistry is prepped and ready. Our chemistry is ready to do this. And that is the change of working through hypoglycemia. That is working that chemistry shift to get you fat adapted. And it can be done. I'm living proof of it, because I was one of those people every 2 hours, food needed to go in or I was going to die. I was convinced. So you can do this, but it's getting that chemistry shift going. So good job, Linda. I'm proud of you. You will get there. You just rinse and repeat. You got to keep that chemistry going.
And just remember too, you're not going to be in a static position either, because you need to keep changing, keep evolving, keep tweaking how your body, because your body is going to change. So you're not coming from the same place anymore. Every time you do a fast, you're coming from a different place. You're starting in a different place, or you're ending at a different place. So you got to constantly keep in your mind, how are you feeling? What are you doing? What can I change? What can I tweak? I know the rules. These are the rules right here, but what can I tweak in there to feel even better or do even better? So, I mean, it's not something that I just have to do this step. As you change and your body changes, you will have to take that step, and we got to find how it plays in now. What can I do to it?
Just like he was saying about the OMAD, moving that. I mean, people can stay at OMAD forever. There are people that get the progress.
Yeah, I just had the thought with the weekend, Linda, maybe not move. If you're doing OMAD towards the end of the day during the week, maybe move it to like a brunch kind of time frame, so you get a little bit of a treat. Maybe have a big breakfast during that brunch that would hold you till the next day.
All the way through.
Something instead of 2 meals,
Yeah.
do a nice 1 meal, high fat, eggs, bacon, butter and everything else. Put that about 11 o'clock.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
So no, I get
our food too.
It's just an idea. Because I'm hungry right now. So
Oh, sorry about that.
But
I ate my sardines. I'm feeling pretty good right now. So that's
that way you can kind of get a treat. Get that.
It's just tweaking another step.
Yeah,
another step.
Thinking outside the box.
Yep. And it's not always just master each step, but once you master that step and you're good at it, you don't necessarily have to push forward if you're not ready to. Just tweak that step. If that means your eating window is getting tighter, then just close that eating window a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to jump to the whole next level, but just close that eating window. There's so many things that you can do.
I was going to say during the week, one meal a day. It can't be. I can't do it for lunch. It's not possible.
Right.
Yep.
I'm right. I'm with you.
Yeah, I can't do it for breakfast because I don't like. I get up in the morning and I'm like the guy in the book, The Keto Continuum. My blood sugar is high enough that I've eaten enough. I've already had a meal and I haven't eaten anything.
Right.
So it's and then lunch I'm at work and it's not a place to enjoy the only meal of the day. And so coming home, sitting down with my husband, having a meal together, and like you said, it's more than just the eating of the food, it's the enjoying that time together. And so when I'm fasting, he's just really good about, as I said, not making it difficult. He makes it as easy as he possibly can. And
kudos
so
to him.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I think I'll keep him.
There you go.
He's keeper.
Yeah, he is. He is 38 years, I think.
Oh, amen. That's
Shit
awesome.
with that.
You know what? There is something to be said on how blessed I know a lot of us women on here that do have the blessing of having supportive spouses in this. And that is just a win the whole way around. And we don't say that to brag. We don't say that I do want to say kudos to them for being the leaders of the home and supporting us and pushing, but at least if you're not going to lead by example, if it's something your spouse isn't doing, the only thing we always ask is don't sabotage your spouse that's trying to.
Yep.
And we've had people come through that literally are just sabotaged on a daily basis, purposefully, or teased or whatever, or their favorite foods are brought back into the house after the week that we clean out the pantry. And, there's just a lot of that. So anybody that has a supportive spouse, I just say kudos to all of you. And that's a godly man right there, or a godly woman that is leading by example and hoping for the best, even though, they may not be doing it, and that's okay. But we are blessed. And there is something to that, the men being the leaders of the household. And there's something to be said on that. So I truly do believe that.
Absolutely.
What we got over there? We got anything else?
Nope, not really.
Everything good.
Everything's quiet.
Jennifer says she feels best after her fast, not necessarily during her fast. So yep, you get, because anybody that's made it through those 72s, I don't know about you guys, but about from 68 to 72, I'm on crazy load. I love that feeling. So I too, when that first breaks, then it's like, it's just, I still feel good from the fast, but now I got to eat. So it's a win-win situation.
Right about middle Tuesday, I'm doing really well. And then by then I get tired because I'm running out. Come Wednesday, I'm dragging.
He's ready. He's right. He's good though. He does it. Pushes through. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions we haven't covered? Again, journeytoketo.com. Click on under work with me on the membership group. That is where you can pick the different times. There's 2 times for each level of the course that we're going to be doing. So this is all new this week. So bear with us this week as we work through the bumps in the program. But
growing pains.
Anybody that wants in, we can still get you in. Please go over and go to the website, sign through, and then if we need to juggle you around in the private classes, we can juggle you. We can swap around whatever we need to do. We'll take the first week of getting everybody settled, so don't worry about that. If anything goes through that you want to change your mind or push to a different level or something, we can fix that. That's no problem. But it's just going to come down to, we're going to do this rinse and repeat. We're just going to get into a routine of, you're going to stay consistent in this group until you're ready to advance to the next level. Then we will move you forward. So this week is the final, then next week this week we'll be starting for some of them, but the old class is finished up and we'll meet again. But we will get everybody signed in. Anybody that wants in, let me know if you need help. If not, any other group, oh, you lost me. He's already off the page. He's moving on. So all right, guys. Everybody have a good night. We love y'all. Keep your numbers checking in.
Have a great